I was not prepared. I thought I was ready to start, but I'm not. Are you?
Well, that's where I'm never ready to start. I always expect you to be the professional one.
Yeah, but if you ask any lady, you're always ready to finish.
Yeah, well. God damn it.
Welcome to the smoke pit.
God fucking A. God damn it.
So I think that's kind of leading in today's topic.
Yeah.
About how guys bust each other's balls.
Yeah, for sure.
So before we get into that, this is episode 3, season 2
Wah, wah, wah.
of the Smoke Pit. You got myself, the host, Jan Sharp, Marine Corps infantry veteran of like 27 deployments. Like it's just too many.
Upwards of 40, yeah.
Yeah, just multiple theaters.
Yep.
My co-host, Mike Sensi.
Wah, wah, wah. Active duty Navy, always tired, always horny.
Yep. And our executive producer, who is known as EP Mike to avoid confusion, he's just kind of a douche.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
I mean, he's like the little brother that we have to love legally.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's be honest. if he wasn't our little brother,
yeah,
like he's like the kid you beat up for your little brother.
Absolutely. Yeah, to show him how to beat people up.
Yeah, but if you look at like the fridge that we have in the studio, like there's one of those photo booth pictures of all three of us.
There is, yeah.
He looks adorable.
He does look adorable. That was a good outing.
Yeah.
A nice company outing.
We went to the arcade.
That's right.
And spent like $60 and walked away with like 3 Airhead candies.
Worth it. Always worth it.
And I have our guest today, Lindsay. Would you please tell us just a little bit about yourself?
My name's Lindsay. I've been in the Navy for too long now.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm a master at arms, and that's pretty much all there is to it.
Boom.
Yeah, so just like on our, what was it, fist fights and diarrhea? No, it's Hawaii 5-0. Hawaii 5-0, we had the third Mike on the show.
So many goddamn mics.
Who was also an MA. And as we always seek to do, expand a little bit on everybody's understanding of the military and different jobs and such.
Absolutely.
So back to what I was saying about how guys treat each other like shit.
Sure.
In my experience, all the girls in the military that I've come across, well, most, they all just want to be treated like one of the guys, you know?
Right, of course.
But true equality means everybody gets it the same way.
100%, yes.
If you, in my opinion, if you treat women the way that we actually treat each other, it wouldn't go so well.
No, absolutely not.
Because like I came over to your house to like help you move,
and
you're like, hey, look at this piece of shit.
Literally, I opened the door. I was like, look at this bag of shit. And Dan looked notably offended.
And I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's not wrong.
Right, yeah.
But just like the goal to say it out loud.
Off the cuff.
Yeah.
Right up front.
And so like imagine that, like Lindsay gets to the recording area and I'm like, look at this piece of shit.
Exactly, yeah. It's like, I don't know.
Like dog shit today.
Exactly. Good. Get in here, you bag of shit.
Yeah, you're like a little sister that we should beat up.
Yeah, you nerd.
Yeah, so I don't think that's an accurate statement that you should just treat them like one of the guys because we're not very good to each other.
No, I hate all people, yeah.
Nor to ourselves.
It's true, right, yeah.
As I poison myself with this alcohol.
Exactly.
Well, the only compromise, though, is that it is filled with delicious and healthy Strikeforce energy.
Now available in Los Angeles.
Use promo code SMOKEPIT.
Yay.
Yeah, because you can literally put it in your beer, and so you can get hyped when you get drunk so you don't lose fights like Ivor.
He's going to love that.
He hasn't listened to it yet?
I think he's listened to those episodes. Anytime I like tag him and stuff or tell him, I'm just like, I told this story, and he's like, oh, that was so much fun. I don't know if he listens. I think he just likes the stories.
Yeah, that's like when you send somebody a video and it's like 57 seconds long, but they reply LOL after like 12 seconds.
I feel like you're talking to me directly. And
yeah, you and EP Mike.
Yeah, to be fair, you sent me a lot of shit. I don't have time in the day.
I sent you like 12 memes today.
Yeah, well, even memes, like you send me like 2 and 3 at a time. Either ones you're making and tweaking or ones you found funny, and there's so many.
Yeah, but to be fair,
man,
you really left me hanging there.
Yeah, to be fair, sorry, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, you definitely post some of them on your story occasionally, and that's always like a little boost in my ego.
Yeah, for sure, of course, yeah. You got good shit.
So back to our guest. Do you feel like you are treated like one of the boys?
No, I don't. Most of the time. Nobody
Could
really.
You please speak into the mic, you sack of shit.
Nobody censors themselves around me, but no one also really makes a lot of effort to make me feel included.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There's a lot more females at the command I'm at right now, but when I was stationed in San Diego, it was pretty much all males, probably 25 males in my section alone. And
that sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Pick of the litter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotta keep my options open.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
So if you could tell them all one thing, like to help you feel more included, what do you think that they're missing out on?
Well, I'm also kind of a dirty, perverted old man.
Oh, there we go.
So I feel like they're missing out on some really...
some fire jokes,
fire jokes. Some dirty memes I have just waiting to be shared with the world.
So, oh my God, send them to me.
I was about to say, are these women you're talking about? Because you should be able to share dirty memes no matter what.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I love them.
I don't like these people.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
So we almost lost my phone there.
Yeah, and there it goes.
And there it goes. Because I am lost without my notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Bullshit. I am funny and witty and hilarious, and y'all can suck it.
For those not watching the video, he's profusely sweating. He's floundering, really.
Yeah, it's EP Mike, get the fuck away from me. Jesus, he's over
anything to get in the show.
Yeah, seriously. If you want EP Mike to have his own show, we were thinking about calling it the Speakeasy, where he sits around in a smoking robe. Like, you have real idea. Like, this is not bullshit or hyperbole.
No, this is 100% true.
His idea. He'd be in a robe with cigars and an old record player talking about obscure World War II things. Yes. If you want that show, please write in.
Yeah.
And
with pen and paper.
Yes. P.O. Box 1903, Chesapeake, Virginia. Address it to Pop Smoke. Or if you just want to send us weird fan mail or dildos or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the thing you're holding in your hand was a gift from a fan. So.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. But I absolutely love the fucking memes that we get based on the show.
Yeah, more memes, please.
Yeah, more memes, please. Okay, so now that we shot the shit for a little bit, time to get serious.
All right.
If you're like me and you're pretty much on the verge of suicide most days, go ahead and take 20 seconds to go ahead and unload that round from the chamber, put it in a safe place. All right, and if you haven't done it by now, you're clearly not proficient with the weapon. You shouldn't have it, so you should probably surrender it to your nearest authority,
exactly,
or actually get some fucking training with it.
True,
because that's a good point. We were talking about that earlier about like, would you rather have like a comically funny ding noise when you wink, or have like a comically funny gun noise whenever you point finger guns?
I said gun noise. Because I finger gun all the time. I'm constantly fingering people.
Yeah. And I'm super charming, so I wink a lot.
Right.
So I would go with the ding.
Yeah.
What about you, Lindsay?
Oh, definitely the ding.
Yeah. Oh, what?
I wink all the time, especially when I'm being perverted.
Bunch of dinglings over here.
But then in that aspect, it's not just the fact that I feel like any person with any sort of sense of humor would clearly choose the ding.
Right.
Unless they, were rabid in the mind from syphilis.
Dan loves the ding.
Much like Edgar Allan Poe.
That's right.
Man, how many tattoos you got over there?
I have no idea. I don't keep count. Why? I feel like this is about to be a joke.
Yeah, it's kind of drawing parallels between you and Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Both gonna die face down in a ditch with rabies and syphilis.
Oh my God. I mean, he's a hero of mine, so I was fine with that.
Exactly. I knew it. But, like, you'd be at 7-Eleven or somewhere random, and then you do, like, your finger gun noise, and then some fucking threeper with a $3,000 Kimber is going to draw down on you.
Yeah, it's a Super Bowl. But, I mean, I've lived long enough, and while I'm bleeding out from my sucking chest wound, I would just, like, point at the EMT, be last thing.
Yeah, I mean, or then I would shoot him because I'm the only one who carries in the group.
You're not the only one. You just carry at times I'm not carrying, which is bizarre. I carry most times. I'm not carrying now.
Yeah, EP Mike most certainly does not carry at all.
He carries that monster dick with him. That's about it.
He's like, oh, just carry my K98. I'm like, you cannot take a World War II rifle to, like, what is this, Texas?
Exactly.
My birth state.
I feel something's on the horizon. Time to fix bayonets.
Yeah, so the idea that, like, you don't need a $3,000 weapon. You need, maybe a $400 weapon and $2,600 worth of training.
Agreed.
Okay. Back to the serious stuff.
Yeah.
I think most of us have either known somebody personally or through a friend who has killed himself, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Technically, you're supposed to say that they suicided because, they're trying to turn that into a verb now. I don't know why. Like,
when I was in 2011, it was a successful suicide was what you wanted to say, which is weird to me, but yeah. Yeah,
in 2016, they're like, he suicided instead of committed suicide, which is super fucking weird,
Yeah, it's a weird word.
However, comma, pause for effect, it sucks. And Mike and I have both, I think we've both talked about this either on the podcast or through our social media, which if you're not following us on Instagram, correct yourself. And so we brought Lindsay on, who's actually got a really powerful story. And so drum roll, please, all our listeners. If you're not doing this, fuck you. Like,
I was gonna.
She's about to bare her heart,
yeah, exactly.
people.
what I have left of it.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so I'll let you take it away from here.
Basically, one day I was just having a casual conversation with one of my old friends from back in the day, early Navy days. I just moved here, and he was upset about something. He had found out about himself, and I was trying to talk him down from it, and he was just going into this rant about how depressed he is, how he hasn't felt like himself in years. And I kind of noticed it the last week. Like, he would put himself down a lot. He would send me pictures as a friend to like validate, like, do I look okay? Does this look good? How do I look?
Well, that sounds like me on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Like
a lot of red flags. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I send a lot of pictures to Mike, and
Yeah.
I'm like, does my butt look okay?
Exactly.
And like, how are my eyebrows?
And it's his foot.
And so please go on.
Well, of course, being who I am, I roasted him, but then...
Oh
Of course.
Of course.
Because that was our relationship. That's
Yeah.
where we were. He
Yeah.
would roast me, too, talking about my cheeks.
Yeah.
And then, and then I kind of noticed, like, maybe he wasn't kidding. He was starting to be serious.
Wait, about your cheeks?
Yeah.
No, about his appearance,
Okay.
about how he felt about himself.
Yeah, because a female friend of mine sent me a meme today, and she was like, it's all fun and games until, like, your girl roasts you for real, and you're going to get your feelings hurt. I'm like, I'm probably better at roasting than any woman I've ever met, so she's going to hurt her own feelings if she
Right.
comes at me, you bow-legged bitch.
But...
Anyways.
Yeah.
he was different that day, and we talked into the night, and I knew he just wasn't himself. I was super concerned, so I stayed up as late as I could talking to him. We made plans to go get dinner that Sunday, and I'm sorry. I was
yeah, you're good.
expecting...
It's all right. Take your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tried texting him several times in the morning. He read it first thing in the morning and he read it and didn't reply, which isn't like him, at least with me. And so being who I am, super anxious, I worry about everything and everyone all the time.
Oh, fuck yeah, I
So
understand that.
I
yeah.
was harassing him. I reached out to him on every social media outlet I could. And then finally that next morning, when I still hadn't heard from him, I messaged his brother because I was concerned. Even though I never talked to his brother. And his brother got the story from me before he told me, and then told me that he had taken his own life that night.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
You don't really seem like the type that wants sympathy, but rather the point of saying the story is just to kind of like educate people on the very real possibilities and the fact that it's out there and it's a risk, because like it can happen to anybody.
Absolutely.
And anybody can be put in that circumstance, and ideations and indicators aren't always 100%.
Right.
Like I'm very vocal about wanting to kill myself quite often.
Absolutely.
This entire social media thing is just a big cry for help.
Right.
And everybody laughs at me.
Well, you have good memes, so.
I think good's an understatement, my friend. All right.
Okay. All right. All right, meme lord.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And ego. It's all it is.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's not always gonna be 100%. Hindsight is 20/20, but if you wanted to tell people as far as like what to look out for and what things that, because you can't blame yourself for anything, because at the end of the day it's always the other person's choice. But like, if looking back at it, if you had acted differently, how would you have done it?
I would have pushed a lot harder. I'm already kind of a pushy person by nature, but I would have trying to get more out of him, like, hey, how are you actually feeling? Like, we joke about, oh, I would love to wake up and just be my last day on earth, but how are you actually feeling?
Right.
I would have gone over to his house instead of just waiting for him to message me back. I could go into the what if of what I should have done all day, and I'm still in that mourning period where I blame myself, because there was a period of time last year when I was where he was at and he knew it, and one night when I was about to do it to myself, he called the cops and basically kind of saved my life.
Yeah.
So my mentality was, he saved me, why couldn't I save him?
Well, as somebody who's been through that a lot, it's the first thing you have to acknowledge is, like I said, that their decision was their own. And the entire, at least in my opinion, all the times that I've ever saved somebody's life, you never expect to be paid back.
Absolutely not.
That's just something you do.
Yeah.
That's because
it's instinctual.
Because it's what heroes do.
Yeah.
And if he was willing to go through that for you, that just shows that he really cared more about you than he cared about himself.
Mm-hmm.
And something that we talk about pretty often is you don't want to put too much pressure on yourself, but there comes a point in time where you have to say, like, whether they died in combat or whether it was an accident or a suicide, like, you have the rest of your life.
Yeah.
All of us are going to die at some point, you know, unless the good Lord comes back in a very rapturous way.
Right.
But I'm not going to push that belief on anybody.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah. And the idea is that none of us are going to get out of this alive. And so we all only have a finite amount of time before Thanos snaps his fingers.
Absolutely.
And we're all out of here. So you gotta make the best with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in charge of how you live your life. So if you just want to like sit on your couch all day ordering DoorDash and cream pie and girls, then that's how you live life.
I don't know why you're giving away the spoilers to my autobiography, but it's fine. It's whatever.
or if you're like me and your life is dope and you do dope shit.
Right.
And, you know, you travel to all these different countries and cream pie girls there. But I digress.
Right.
The point being is whatever it is, you live your best life, and you know you could do that in memory of. And part of the reason why I do the podcast, part of the reason why I do the social media, is because I have had so many friends who have either died in combat or taken their own life. And we actually we talked about this a little bit, I think over the weekend. But you see the people who wear like the black bracelets, and co-host Mike has one on right now. And I like the idea. It's a great way to show tribute and solidarity. I have two qualms.
Yeah. No, we've talked about this.
Yeah, and so not to offend anybody who has one.
Right.
Because honestly, if you're not okay having an uncomfortable conversation, then fuck you.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if you get offended at the slightest little thing, like how dare you?
If you have a bracelet with a dead person on it and you get offended by people talking about it, don't wear it.
Yeah, seriously. Like if it's that, like in the fact that you like, oh, it's such a sensitive subject.
Yeah.
Like you treat that person like they never exist, and I think that's even more disrespectful.
I agree with that.
Like fuck no, I want to tell stories about my boys and shit.
Absolutely.
So the two issues that I have with that is one, where the fuck do I even start? They can only hold like 2 or 3 names.
Yeah. I've seen people like 4 and 5, like an insane amount.
Yeah, I've seen people who have like doubled up on both sides, and I'm like, you want that much attention?
Okay, well that's true. That's a lot. Yeah.
You can't just get one that just says to like all the fallen or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Something.
Because if I was going to do that, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Well, granted, I wrote a poem in Afghanistan. It was on my 4th deployment, and it was for all the people that I have lost. It has 9 lines, like a medevac. Which, fun fact, if you don't know the difference between medevac and casevac, you really shouldn't be talking about a lot of things.
That's fair. Okay.
I mean, just to be fair, and just to educate a little bit, medevac is medical personnel doing it. Casevac is non-medical personnel doing it.
Just whoever's there, yeah.
Yeah, so if Tricky or, like or an actual medical team comes to take your casualty, it's medevac. If your fucking QRF shows up and they don't even have a doc, it's casevac.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's laying hate.
Yeah, so it's a different, but I digress. Right. So it's got 9 lines like a medevac, and it's on my back, and that's my tribute to my friends, So it only really comes in handy when I have a girl over and she sees it and like, oh, you're so fucking salty from all your
Jesus
tours.
Christ.
No,
I'm
kidding.
Whatever dude's taking you in the butt, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if the tear is from the butt sex or from thinking of the poem.
Memory.
Yeah, but so it's like, where the fuck do I even begin? Like, because if I put one person's name on there,
Yeah.
like, is that disrespectful to everybody else?
Right.
And like some people, like they either like put it because it was their best friend or they're in similar circumstances or and then so that kind of leads into the second point. There's a lot of people out there that wear bands, I feel like, just for clout.
100%. We were talking about this at dinner the other day, and like these young Marines and stuff. I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it, wearing like bands for like chesty puller and like Marine Corps icons. I'm like, haze yourself. That's insanity.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Yeah. So
well, like, and not to speak down on the other branches, but like, some gal in the Air Force, she had a, some Marine that she went to tech school with or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Like, saw like 3 times in her entire life, and then he dies 4 years later, and she gets a memorial band.
Yeah.
It's like, really, he was your best friend?
Right.
Because it's always the case. Like, oh, like 9 of my best friends died. You had 9 best friends?
Yeah, exactly.
I have like 3.5 people that I like in my life, and they're all in this room.
My best friend is myself.
Yeah, and so it's like, like really like this, or like somebody that you've never even met.
Yeah.
But it was just like, or whatever the case is. So like people, like I feel weird for clout.
100%.
And that kind of bothers me as somebody who's actually like loaded dead bodies onto a helicopter.
Yeah.
Like if you're wearing it just so that way people think you're salty, like I want to fight you.
100%. I agree.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think it's however you think you're going to heal best, then just do it. If wearing a band and looking at it reminds you of that person, then do it. I personally can't do that because I can't even look my friend had red hair. I can't even look at a redheaded person right now without wanting to break down.
Yeah.
I do plan on getting a tribute tattoo to him, but
let's go get tattoos.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
No,
seriously. Like I've been thinking about it, and I actually have a couple different ideas.
Is her coming here? I'm covered. Why would we not gone and got tattoos?
I offered the other day.
Did you?
Yeah. But you're like, oh no, I'm just gonna cream pie this girl.
Shut the fuck up.
And he said it just like that too.
Yeah. Fucking idiot.
But like, so like imagine that though, right? Because your friend was in the military, right?
He was.
And so some girl that he fucking was in his sister platoon in boot camp that he maybe said 3 words to in his entire life, found out that he died, and she's wearing a memorial band for him.
Yeah.
Like, how would you feel about that?
Oh, I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Right?
I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
But like, like you're carrying that around like it's your burden to bear, but you barely even knew the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like I remember when my buddy Stephen Phillips died, and he was one of my senior Marines, and so there was like a big barrier until we deployed. And then we were in the same fire team as Steel Curtain, and we were part of the inner cordon team, which like we'd run out and we'd secure the the inner compound, and he was an assaultman. Before they got rid of it, it's the same MOS that the guy from Terminal Lance is. They don't get promoted at all. It's very common for infantry Marines to get out of their 4 years as an E3.
Yeah.
And if you were an assaultman, it was like almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like you were just not going to get promoted. And so we'd run in, and like I'd set security for him, and he put the charge, twist, pull, pin, boom, charge goes off, and then the squad goes in. And so like he and I went through some shit together, like we got shot at, we got blown up by him.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Like, that's saying and that's another thing. Like people act like the dead were perfect. No, this dude fucking rocked me because he put too much goddamn C4.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't mean I didn't love him.
Yeah, of course.
Just that one instance, he was a dickhead.
He's an idiot. Yeah.
And so I remember our company gunnery sergeant fucking chewed him out because he was wearing Oakley boots. And he was saying like all kinds of hateful shit about it, and like I get it, like Marine Corps is fucking good, fucking.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he wasn't supposed to be wearing the Oakleys or whatever because fucking gay. But then like during the memorial service, like everybody's up there like, yeah, he was my best friend, he was the best guy ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, he was super introverted. The only reason he and I were friends is because we spent so much time, like fucking stacked on each other in combat,
100%.
And so like I'd be like, oh, if he was your best friend, what do you want to do when you get out?
Yeah.
No, you didn't know he wanted to go to Embry-Riddle in Florida. You don't fucking know who his parents are. You don't know who his girlfriend is. His mom didn't cry on your shoulder during the memorial service, but he was your best friend, and you get a fucking memorial tattoo for him,
I was actually just talking about this with our friend Caitlin from She Podcast last night.
Yeah,
we were talking about stuff.
She
Shout out
Podcast.
Caitlin. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't listen to She Podcast, you can find them on iTunes?
Everywhere, I imagine. Yeah. I don't know. I don't work for
Instagram.
them. Yeah, I don't work for them.
Offline.
Anyway, no, but I was talking to Caitlin about this, about a KIA I was dealing with. I did his Guardian Angel flight home, and it was a high vis guy, and so there was going to be like VIPs on the ramp and stuff.
Yeah.
And when I say, I mean officers and staff and COs of all branches came out of the woodwork and like pushed people who were his friends and stuff aside just to be in the photo op and stuff. It was ghoulish. It was the worst thing. It was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Instant hands.
100%.
Like if that's legit my boy and some fucking officer like pushes past me, he's catching instant hands.
100%. And it got to the point that one of his teammates who did the Guardian Angel flight back with us, he goes, hey, just a question. He's like, who can name who's in here? And like everybody was just quiet. And he's like, if you don't know who's in here, he's like, get the fuck off this aircraft. And like a bunch of officers just like shuffled off defeated. It was weird. Yeah, I didn't like that. Yeah, no, it's upsetting.
Instant fucking hands.
It was upsetting, man. I don't like it.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of my beef with that. But as we are one to do here, we play devil's advocate. We like to see the whole side of the story. And so I think this would be a perfect opportunity for you to tell me why I should shut the fuck up about your band.
See, I mean, we talked about it a little more at length at dinner, but I don't care what people think about my band personally, because this was my friend, and he did. My band's not even a KIA. Like the KIAs I've experienced, I mean, they were
downrange.
Yeah, downrange. Yeah. They were buddies and stuff, but it's never like I held his hand as he bled out kind of shit. That's insane. But yeah, he was an RP like me. He'd done a bunch of deployments. He was coming back from his 5th trip from the Middle East. He was about to get out.
Fucking A.
Yeah, and they had a welcome home party for him back in his hometown of Philadelphia. Yeah. And they had a big bonfire, and there was something going on with the bonfire, like it was getting too big, and like one of his kids was in the way. He went up and he moved his son out of the way, and there was an explosion, and it burned him in front of his entire family.
Just like right then and there.
Right then and there.
Holy
He
smokes.
survived in a hospital-induced coma for 2 days, but then they pulled the plug.
And see, like, people wouldn't know that.
Yeah, 100%.
You know? And so, like, there's no like rules or regulation on like Lindsay was saying, like, however it helps you grieve.
Yeah,
and the fact that like it was a freak accident and he was an RP like you, and so like I totally get that.
Yeah.
And, like, I had Marines who they got hit by drunk drivers after their second and third deployment.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just like I don't know. I think I'm on the spectrum somewhere. I don't like jewelry, dog tags, rings, earrings.
It's just vanity more than anything. Yeah.
You know, so like I don't like wearing things, and so like I don't know. Like I think that like I'd rather get a tattoo than wear like a bracelet.
Sure.
But like you guys said, at the end of the day, it's however the fuck you want to feel. You
right.
know, it's America. Do what you want.
Yeah,
you know?
That's right. Yeah, fucking A.
Yeah. So speaking to that aspect, it is America. Do what you want. If you don't want to get help, nobody can help you.
100%.
Exactly.
However, you should get help.
Yes.
And your loved ones will encourage you. We will encourage you.
100%.
And so, Lindsay, if you could make any recommendations, anybody who's listening that feels like they're struggling, they have ideations, they've possibly even made a plan, like, what would you tell them?
Speaking out is extremely terrifying.
Yeah.
And speaking out to the wrong person can be even worse. But taking that chance and maybe saving yourself is the best thing you can do for yourself. Because life sucks, and I personally hate everyone, and I don't want to be here most of the days.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But
there's the door.
Yeah. Here at this table.
but it's worth it. There are so many people going through so much worse shit right now, dying in hospital beds, and it's worth it. People would trade to have what you have right now. Just remember that.
That's a really
and
good point.
just stick it the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I think furthermore to that aspect, if you feel like your life is not worth living, then make it worth living.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, one of the huge reasons why I do the social media outreach, why I do the veteran nonprofit events, why, you know, we do all of this. You know, every single one of us here, we do that because we want somebody else to have a little bit of a burden eased on them.
100%.
We want to entertain, we want to educate, we want to inspire. And, you know, so if you feel like your life isn't worth living, then fucking make it worth living.
Right.
Go volunteer somewhere. Go to the pet shelter. Go to the soup kitchen. I guarantee you, if you do that shit for a week straight, you'll feel a lot better about your position in life. Because if you just come to life with the aspect that all you do is take, you're going to feel empty. You're going to feel hollow. You know, if you come to the idea that you want to serve people and that you want to help other people, you want to better other people, then that's when you start to feel filled on your own.
Yeah.
You know, because like creativity and love are two things that you get more of the more you use. And that's what we try to put into this podcast is love and creativity, and putting that out there. And so the idea that you continue to put good things out there, and maybe you might be a sack of shit like me, but at least I do good things.
Right.
At least I try to help people.
You're a positive sack of shit. Yeah.
And then at the same aspect, you have to also find other venues in your life that satisfy you, because an empty jar cannot pour, right?
Right.
And so you got to find things that fulfill you. And for me, community service and stuff like this is a huge source of emotional strength for me.
Yeah.
So like, what do you guys do to like recharge your batteries to make you feel better?
Me? Personally, I wouldn't recommend this for everybody, but...
Oh, God.
Yeah. No, I mean, just like drinking and video games, like being alone. Like, I get like bouts of loneliness. Like, I've been single for years and years and years. Like, I mean, you know my story.
Yeah.
But while that sucks in the moment, you're like,
that's
fuck.
Got to be its own podcast episode.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna need a box of tissues.
Yeah, no, but like
jerking off.
100%. Yeah. So horny.
And crying.
Yeah. And like when those bouts hit me, I'm just like, fuck, and it sucks, but I kind of ride that wave because that's how I cope. I'm used to that feeling, and I know how to kind of get through that. But yeah, just like drinking, playing video games, being alone, just fucking, I mean, you've made a million memes, and you've seen them out there, just like, it's like the sad clown. It's like when you come back home from entertaining your friends all night, like it's fucking draining trying to be the funny guy, entertaining one, like the uplifting and optimistic one. It can take it out of you. So me, honestly, just being isolated and alone, again, not for everybody, but it is my cope.
What about you?
Annoyingly enough, fitness. I like working out. I'm a very hyper and energetic person by nature, and I also have really bad issues with anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
I've noticed going to the gym is it calms me down.
let's all glare at EP Mike.
Yeah. To be fair, Dan,
Yeah,
you went to the gym. Anxiety. You went to the gym once, all right? So
okay, oh, with you, my friend.
Yeah,
okay?
with me, exactly.
Yeah, with you.
Yeah.
I go. It may not look like it, but I go plenty enough. Which, by the way, co-host Mike did take me to the gym. So if your boy starts to look a little thick during the summer, you know why? Because we were doing leg day.
That's right. That's all legs. That's all we do.
Straight, just targeting the glutes.
Just from lifting each other up.
No, but I say that, you judgmental piece of shit, because EP Mike has bad anxiety and depression. True,
he does.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things where he's like, oh, I'm like super anxious. I'm like, well, what are we gonna do to fix it?
Right, go for a run.
Because and not poking anything too specifically, but training yourself mentally to also look for solutions to problems that you present is a big thing. Because there's type of people that they only are like, oh, this is wrong, or this is bad, or this is that. And it's like, and?
Right.
Yes, and?
Right,
the first rule of improv. Because that's all we're doing is just making this shit up, you know?
Yes, anding.
Yes, and. And so, like, all right, hey, like, I'm feeling really fucking shitty today, but, like, I'm going to go fucking smoke a joint, or I'm going to go fucking drink a beer, or make a meme, or, you know, have unprotected sex.
Jesus Christ.
Like, and we all glare at co-hosts.
Yeah, exactly, glare away.
You know, so whatever fucking makes you happy. So it's not like the idea of just presenting a problem without a solution is inherently fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. Present a solution,
right,
and then have the will to act on that solution.
That's a really good point.
Which brings us to our next point. If you are in that position where you're feeling down on yourself, you're feeling like you might do something that other people might suffer more than you, because at the end of the day, like, suicide hurts other people more than it hurts you.
100%.
Unless you're like really fucking bad at it, and like nobody's around, and you just suffer for a while. But most of the time, it's quick bang pop. And you're not around. Everybody else got to pay the bill.
100%.
And it's like the same thing with most things that you do to other people. Like, you know, I hate when these fucking girls are like, oh, like, I'm growing into a better person. You know, oh, yeah, the fucking dude you cheated on is the one stuck with the bill on that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, everybody's like, oh, you're so inspirational and fucking, But
do you have names or?
I have one
I know
or
you
two.
Do. Yeah, all right.
But I digress.
Yeah.
So if you're in that position where you're like, all right, I got to fucking do something, what would you recommend? Like, how do you will yourself into doing something?
For me, it starts by getting off the couch. It's so easy just to sit there and
everyone glares at me.
It's so easy just to sit there and feel sorry for yourself.
And everyone glares at me.
But I had to start doing that because I would do that. And there was points and times where I'd go weeks without, I know this is disgusting or a turn on if you're into that, but there was times where I would go like a week without showering or washing my hair.
I'll be in my bunk.
And
Firefly reference.
All right.
And once I started getting to the mentality of I have to get up, I have to move myself out of, I live alone, I had to move myself out of my apartment and go do something, or I'm not going to make it.
Right. I'm
just not. And I think anyone who feels like, oh, well, it's just so much easier. Okay, no the fuck it's not, because it's so unfulfilling just to sit there and do nothing with yourself.
Yeah.
It really is.
And I feel like if at the end of the day, it's going to be more difficult to do that, because every day that you don't go out and do something, whether it be go to the gym or it's, you know, community outreach or whatever the case may be, it's like you're getting like another 2.5 pound plate stacked on your chest.
Yeah, 100%.
And then later on, it's going to be much more difficult to get up and do things and move and try to help yourself, because you let all that shit stack up. And so it would be less difficult now to put the effort in now than it would be to try to fucking drag yourself by your fingernails later on, you know?
Sure.
And so to kind of wrap up that segment, because we don't want to be super emo the entire...
I know, yeah. My Chemical Romance just on repeat in my head. Yeah. I am not okay.
It's my anthem.
Yeah.
And so if you wanted to round out this this segment with, you know, telling our guests, you know, one final parting shot, what would that be?
22 a day is definitely 22 too many.
True.
Check on your friends, veterans or non-veterans. Suicide rates are going up. They're going through the roof. And I think with enough effort, it can definitely go back down. My mentality now, since he passed away, is I can't save him, but maybe by talking about it and making people aware of it, I can save 10 more lives.
100%. Yeah.
I completely agree with that.
I do too.
So... I heard you got into a fight.
What the fuck?
Common theme on the show is I like to present him with a very simple question, and he acts baffled.
I usually am baffled.
Who told you?
Who told you? Yeah. Well,
you did.
Yeah, shout out Cam for doing this. I love Cam. But it wasn't I'm going to have to drag the story out because it's not a good one. But pretty much what had happened was... I was in 1-3. We were in Okinawa, and
you just got done cream pie girl.
Jesus Christ. No. I had... Afterwards, I did, and I think...
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I fucking knew it.
I think so. I think it's somebody you follow, though, so...
I fucking knew it.
This will be an offline conversation. Anyway.
I've been trying to become Eskimo brothers for a hot minute, man. Like,
not due to me. I'm laying landmines all over the place, Dan. It's just your turn stepping one.
I managed to fucking... I was the only fucking dude who is squad leader in my entire battalion and sang in Afghanistan 3-7 who didn't have anyone directly under my charge struck by an ID. Yeah. There was missions I were on that like either like the lieutenant or like a staff sergeant was like the platoon command or like the convoy commander or the op commander. And, we lost dudes that way. But like any mission that I was directly the fucking the patrol commander for never had a dude hit an ID. Wow. Yeah, and
so is that why we're not Eskimo brothers?
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm very good at fucking. Let's be honest. The kind of women you sleep with, offline,
are great. They're the best kind of people.
No, I actually know. I'd probably say 30 or 40.
Jesus Christ. So.
And I'd probably say like 5 or 6 of them are pretty decent.
Oh my god! Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you have specifically been like, she is the worst.
Yeah, well, a couple. Yeah, on a couple, just because personality, not aesthetic.
Because they are the worst.
They are the worst. That's fair.
Like, let's not sugarcoat it.
Anyway, so there I'm in Okinawa.
About to cream pie girl.
Yeah. Just on the verge.
The cusp.
Jesus Christ. So we're playing, so we're playing the other BAS and RP because RPs aren't in the BAS.
And if I look flush, it's not because of the cream pie, it's because the lights are very bright.
This light's killing me.
And it's starting to come into the summertime, so I'm thinking like we need to either like find a different recording location or build another wall.
We'll see. Or build the wall. Dan's and
half of me is offended by that.
So we're in Okinawa. We're playing flag football against another battalion that was there, and their sniper corpsman was like this big cocky third class, like 22, 23, prime of his life, fucking small dick, I assume. I don't know. And he was...
Can confirm,
That's right. That's a Texas size stand for.
Yep.
He, the whole time we were playing, like, it was weird, rough. I mean, it's dudes playing, flag football, so everyone's hitting each other and stuff a little bit, but it's nothing crazy. And the whole time, he's just like...
Because, at the end of the day, you're trying to hurt another fucking service member,
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, fucking remember that, girls, all right? If you're fucking dating, and boys too, but if you're dating somebody, don't fucking hurt them, especially if they're a service member. Like, just be fucking decent.
Yeah, all right, let's calm down. And,
you know what? Okay. I'm about to have a fucking rant here, okay?
Yeah, this is why my stories never get finished. This is becoming a common theme now.
I think that's just because you drag it out too much.
I don't drag it out. You won't let me finish.
And you give me the opportunity to be funny and charming.
I don't. So, I don't. It just happens because you are.
Do it on my own.
Yeah, there you go. Nice way to pat yourself, to break your arm, jerking yourself off. Yeah,
I'm extraordinary humble. No, but I think it's like some of the fucking worst girls I've ever dated were in the military.
Yeah.
Like flat out.
I could see that.
Like fucking straight up two-timing, fucking ghosting, fucking like straight up.
Our guest is very uncomfortable.
Hey, you want to be one of the boys? Just be one of the boys.
I feel attacked.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, you're absolutely right.
Ooh.
Yeah, some of the worst girls I've fucking dated have been in the military.
Okay.
And that's like the number one bullshit because so many girls fucking struggle to like be either accepted or prove their worth or show that they deserve to be there. Sometimes they have to work twice as hard, as the guy next to them because everybody thinks that they get things handed to them or whatever the case is. And so if you're like one of those girls who like legit like sleeps with superiors to like or whatever, or like just fucking cheats on your boyfriend, whatever, like you're setting the movement back 10 years, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And just fucking stop doing it. And now guy's not gonna let you off the fucking hook either.
No.
Like, how about maybe don't fucking, be shitty.
Just as a human being, yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like that is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, girl hurts boy, boy evolves into fuck boy. Hurts girl.
I don't know why you're staring directly at me doing this.
Because I said girl hurts boy,
right?
And that's your origin story.
Yeah, that is.
When you make your short film.
I'm the lamest superhero ever.
Willem Dafoe is actually going to be playing a young Mike.
I can see that though.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
We just got to do a lot of CGI.
A young Mike. Jesus Christ.
And so, your origin stories, because I actually do believe there's 2 points of influence that I can remember. We won't get into it now. Like I said, it's an entire episode.
Yeah, it's a whole episode, yeah.
But yeah, Mike is the way he is because of you hoes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it that way.
These hoes ain't loyal.
Yeah, notwithstanding with present company and good friends that have been on the show.
Sure, of course.
Of
course, yeah.
Yeah, they get the protection bubble.
That's fair.
But yeah, there's a lot of reasons where either a girl or a guy is the way she is because of somebody she dated or he dated.
100%, yeah. Absolutely.
Like he got cheated on, so now he's fucking ruthless. He went Super Saiyan, or she got fucking cheated on or abused or whatever the case is, and now she's just like like fuck men, like either I'm gonna be alone or I'm just gonna get mine.
Right.
I saw this fucking meme, or no, it was a tweet where this dude was like, this girl came over and she put her lashes and her pistol on my nightstand.
Yeah, I saw you show me that. Yeah.
And he was like, why the fuck you have a pistol? She's like, in case I got to clap somebody.
Exactly, yeah.
And then, like, she got her nut rolled off.
Yeah.
Like, didn't even let him finish. And then she was gone when he woke up.
Yeah.
And he's like, women these days ain't shit. And then a friend of mine replied to that because I sent it around because it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. And I will trade memes if you send me, like, legit memes. Don't send me some eclectic fucking motocross political bullshit, Like, Trump supporters ride these kind of motorbikes because it's made in America.
You know what's so funny?
Like, fuck Yamaha.
I love when people send me your memes, like from the Pop Smoke page that I didn't help with. I'm just like, okay. What am I supposed to do with this?
Because they want you to laugh because they think it's funny?
No, that can't be it.
See? Jaded. But so yeah, if you don't send me shitty memes, like I'll reply with memes of my own. And so I sent that to some of my friends, and the girl was like, "Yeah, that's what guys are like." And I was like, "I must have fucking missed that train."
Yeah, exactly.
Because I most certainly will put my pistol on the nightstand. Because I feel like it's one of like the most G moves you could fucking do as a guy. Like you take a girl, slam her on the bed, you take your pistol and your holster off, you put it on the fucking nightstand before you make love to her.
That's how cowboys fucked.
Yeah. Back when people were men.
Yeah.
Women were men. Babies were men. Everybody was men. They all had cholera.
Just a bunch of men fucking each other.
So, I mean, I think the pistol on the nightstand is a G move.
That is,
I don't think I'm going to take my eyelashes off. They're
No,
expensive.
Yeah, exactly. They stay on. Yeah, they don't come off for anybody.
100%.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but point being, though, is fucking be good to each other.
There you go. Yeah. Thank you, Ellen.
Be good to each other.
Yeah. Can I continue the story?
Yes, please.
Okay. I don't even know where I was at.
Must not have been that good of a story.
I told you it wasn't. I told you I didn't want to tell the story.
No, so you're playing flag football.
Okay.
And this fucking dude with the little dick.
Yeah, right. It comes at me with his dick. And no, so we're playing, and my team makes a play, and my guy's running down the field, and the douchebag, he's going to make a play. And
we'll call him EP Mike for the story.
We'll call him EP Mike for the story. Yeah. So EP Mike's going to make the play. And for those who've played football before, I had like a perfect crack block on him. Like I was in his blind side. If I even lowered my shoulder for a second, he'd be in a coma to this day. It was the most perfect blind side hit I could have had. But again, it's flag football. I'm not a douchebag. I have nothing to prove. So, but I did like set a pick. I even let out like a little yelp, let him know I was there last second, just because it's funny.
Wait, how did the yelp go?
It was like a.
Wait. Before you say, I think we should both do what we think.
Yes, yeah. What do you think of Mike since a yelp was like?
Wait, can I do it now? Okay, ready?
Yeah. So it was definitely the latter. It was.
Hers was much more graceful.
Exactly.
Like I felt like hers was like a harp,
yeah.
And mine was like an electric guitar.
Yeah, yours sounded like somebody dropped a harp on you. And so it was much more like hers. I was just like, eh. And but I set like a basketball pick. I just stood there. But from the angle itself, this dude bumped into me and fell down. Like, that was how good of an angle it was. And so it was embarrassing. Both sidelines were like, ooh, you know. And so after the play was over, he's still laying there. And I went over to help him up. And he, like, grabbed my hand and then grabbed, like, the upper part, like, or my elbow, and, like, pulled me into him as he stood up. And then he put his hands around my throat. And it was so quick and so weird. My brain, I was just like, if there's somebody recorded, it looked like the weirdest McMap training video ever. Because, like, this guy's just Hollywood choking me, and I'm just, like, standing there, like, with my hands to my side. And he's like pushing me back, and my brain is in like football mode. I'm like, oh, it's got to switch to fight mode. So it's like flipping through the pages. Yeah. It's like cream pie, fat chicks. It's like fight. There it is. And by the time I get there,
appendix page 63.
SpongeBob quote, and
self-deprecating nihilism.
Exactly.
That's like 12 chapters.
Yeah, this is huge. And by the time.
Oh my God.
By the time I register what's happening, he'd already pushed me back a couple steps to the sidelines, and there was like a tire like for working out. and he pushed me into the tire. So now I'm just like helpless in Navy PT gear, the goofiest of all PT gears, just sitting in this tire, defeated and deflated.
Wait, you were like in it like an inner tube?
Yeah, like a lazy river. Yeah. And
did you let out another yelp?
I did. It was more like yours though. It was like a help yelp. Yeah. And so by that time, all my docs had seen what was going on, and they're like, RP's in trouble, and it was, I mean, sidelines cleared. There's my buddy Esco's this big fucking cocky
was that you clapping the cheeks?
That was
later?
me clapping cheeks. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. While the fight was going on.
Yeah, I'm horny all the time.
Man.
I slip out of fights to slip into people. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's fucking brilliant.
And
so everybody's fighting for your honor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm just like, wow, it looks rowdy over there.
She's like, what was that? You're like, no, just get back to what you're doing.
And so, so punches being thrown, people are getting cleared up and stuff. And my buddy Esco's this big cocky farmer motherfucker from Indiana also. Yeah. He's actually a firefighter now. And he's like laying blows on this guy. He's like, oh fuck. He's like yelling in my honor. He's like, RP's in trouble. Like, it was really funny. And so, so he's laying into this guy. And then finally everybody separates and stuff. And I actually go shake his hand after the game's over because both of our chiefs made us. And I had no ill will. I was just confused. I thought the whole thing was really funny. And I shook his hand. He was like, it was just how douchey he was. He goes, are you okay? And I was like, me? I was like, are you okay, princess? Like, you started a brawl because of your ego. And then he was like, ooh, whatever. And it was actually funny after that, Esco, the big farmer dude who landed those blows, my HM1 was like, let's fuck with Esco. And we're like, okay. And he's like, what we're going to do is we're going to have me and Chief in the office, and we're going to call him in and say that sailor's pressing charges because you grabbed his dick. And so I was in there on the couch, and it was the HM1, it was the Chief. We were very bored in Okinawa. And so we brought him in.
Wait, what'd the couch look like?
It was a casting couch. 100%. 100%.
Okay, that's what I pictured.
And so I'm
sitting on it.
Yeah, I caused it.
I mean, I've pictured that many times unrelated to this story, so I'm glad to see that it was for a reason.
It's full circle.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there, and so everybody had to clear out because everybody's laughing. So, like, even the surgeon, we made the lieutenant leave. We're like, sir, get the fuck out of here. We're playing a joke.
Sir, with all due respect.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the fuck out.
And so I'm sitting on the couch. I'm, like, looking disheveled. And Esco, poor Esco, he was in, like, Bravo company, Bravo Charlie. So he was out with the line doing stuff. Came back in, literally had his rifle. And he's like, yes, Agent 1, like, panting. He's like, get in here. And he goes in, he looks at me, he's like, RP2, what's going on? I was like, I don't know, bro. And I was like trying so hard not to laugh. And then he walks in there, and he's like, yes, Agent 1. He's like, so he's like, about the little scuff earlier, and like Chief Cam, the guy who started this whole story, he's in the corner. He's like losing it already. He's already cracking. And he's like, yeah, that sailor that when at RP, he's pressing charges because he said you grabbed his dick during that fight. And then Esco was just like wide-eyed, and he goes, HM1, that's impossible. And he's like, well, that's what he said. He's like, that's impossible because I was punching him in the face. And so then everybody broke down. It was good. But, that's what the Navy does.
Oh, so it was two Navy platoons.
Yeah, so it was the BAS.
Okay, because I just imagine like a bunch of green on green, and then you in yellow on blue being pushed in a tire.
Me just bopping around. Everybody having a good time. Just, like, throwing candy and stuff.
Like, RP's in trouble.
RP's in trouble. Yeah, then the fight breaks
just
out.
A bunch of silkies.
Yeah. Silkies flying everywhere.
Yeah, because that's how penis is flapping silkies like this.
100%.
Just the motion you made.
I always cut out the lining in my silkies. Just
of course,
you have to. Yeah, that was it. That's the whole story. Yeah. You happy? You satisfied?
So about this girl.
Oh, my God. So, well, with her...
Wait. Allegedly.
Allegedly, of course, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's something I forgot to mention.
What's that?
Apparently, shit I say in this podcast has been used against me
100%
in conversation.
So we just did another podcast before this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dan got called out.
The PILF podcast, right?
The podcast I'd like to fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
We got into some deep shit on that one.
Yep, and so make sure you guys check that out as well, the PILF podcast.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, apparently she had issues with my definition of what constitutes an old lady, which I said 45, and I stand by that.
Yeah. I mean, old as in to what? To hooking up with, or just like old for the earth?
Just old for the earth.
45 is old for the earth.
Women age like avocados.
And I get that.
Yeah.
But I fucking love avocados.
You're 48. Not rotten ones.
I love avocados.
Are you like one of those fucking freaks that eats like the fucking brown avocados?
In season, out of season. It's avocado season.
Just rub it all over your dick. For whatever poor.
Is that not how guacamole's made? You can't make guacamole without fucking a few old women.
All right. So to put you back back on the hot seat.
Yeah, let her talk.
What is the oldest dude you've ever fucked?
Jesus.
Ooh. I'm pretty sure he listens to this podcast too.
Does he really?
Really?
Yeah.
That is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
That's
in my life.
fantastic. Yeah.
He's about. I hope my dad never listens. He's about 35.
35. Okay.
Maybe
Well,
45.
how old are you, though?
How old am I?
Yeah.
How old do I look?
18.
Oh, so like a fresh avocado.
That's correct. Yes.
I'm 23.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he's a
you
good
said
bit
that
older than me.
You transferred bases, so military math in my head, she's probably 23.
I just didn't want to overshoot because she could beat me up, so I can't run that risk.
Yeah.
And much like
Exactly. Yeah.
and much like Spike from Cowboy Bebop,
Mm-hmm.
it said, "I like the kind of woman who kick my ass."
Hell yeah, bro.
What an insane reference.
Because I'm fucking dope.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's 35 or 45, kind of a big window.
Yeah.
He was a former Marine too.
Marines are awesome.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
A few of them.
Yeah. Some of them. Semper few.
No, that's fair. So he was 35 or 45.
And listens to this podcast.
And listens
Most
to the
importantly.
podcast. Most
Yeah.
importantly.
I have to go back and look. I'm pretty sure he does.
Hell yeah.
So do you have a nickname for him that we can refer to him as?
Yeah. How is he saved in your phone if he is?
Yeah.
Oh, he's okay. He is not saved in my phone.
Ooh.
Look,
Ooh.
no girl saves a guy who she knows she's just gonna hook up with for that one time in her phone. Or if she does, she saves it with like what she thinks his first name is,
Right.
and then the little Tinder fire emoji.
100%. So
This is all fucking news to me.
So I know a lot of people who have me in their phone as Mike quotation Tinder because that's just how they know me.
I know 3 girls who have disappointment in parentheses next to you.
That's fair. Yeah.
To clarify
because
which
that's
Mike.
because they
Including
right exactly.
Drama.
Yeah. That's fair. But yeah, a lot of people. She is right though. If like you don't intend on seeing this person ever again, they're always like a nickname or something. So is he saved under Tinder or just not saved at all?
He's just not saved at all.
That's sad.
The rest of them are saved under Tinder and the little fire
The
emoji.
rest of them. How big is this stable?
I accidentally called one of them the other day too.
Ooh.
That was embarrassing.
How'd that go?
Not super fucking well. Especially because he was a guy from like when I first downloaded Tinder, like the good old days when
Right.
I was
Yeah.
little.
Oh, like when we first matched?
Yeah, we did.
When you had to log in with your MySpace.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
no bullshit.
banned.
Like every female we've ever had on this podcast is because one of us matched with her on Tinder. I'm totally full of
I
shit.
was about to say, I run through the roster. I was like, I don't think it's true at all.
I'm banned from Tinder now, so it's not.
You
like,
got banned from
I got
Tinder?
banned from Tinder.
How do you get banned
We'll
from
come
Tinder?
back for that in just a second. I just want to make it known that Miss New York Patty Gomez is probably on her way to beat my ass right now.
She actually just sent me a picture of herself with that male fucking filter on. She looks hideous
I
as a
said
dude.
the opposite. I was just like, I think I'm gay now.
Yeah, no, she looks hideous.
I thought you were going to say
Patty-
she had like the Thanos
Patty,
glove
you
on.
look terrible. Yeah, right, yeah.
She's come over to fucking end me.
Yeah, exactly.
Patty don't play no shit.
She does not. Patty will kill all of us.
Yeah, no shit. So how'd you get banned from Tinder?
How did I get banned from Tinder?
Yes.
Well,
I love that she's so loud.
I do too, yeah.
well, you told me to be loud. And by nature, I'm a very loud person, honestly.
All right.
This is called my MA voice.
Hey,
Yeah,
oh.
But-
I feel bad for your neighbors though.
Yeah.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
or good. Say that again.
Just one more time for the
Just one more
recording,
time.
yeah.
Into the microphone.
Oh my god.
No, like say it like you're strumming a harp like earlier.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Ew, whoa. All right. I could
many
work
I
with
have
it.
many
Yeah.
octaves. We could play with that all day, but
I am aroused by every noun and verb in that sentence. Moving on.
mainly octaves. But yeah, how'd you get banned from Tinder?
honestly, I joke a lot. So it's between two things. I don't connect my Instagram to my Tinder.
Fair.
Because the first time I've done that, guys will like follow me on Tinder and then shoot their shots in my DMs on Instagram when I don't match with them on Tinder.
Oh, they changed that. Now, if you connect your Instagram, it doesn't tell them what your handle is. It just shows them the pictures.
Well, they changed it after I got banned.
Yeah.
Because I was having that problem. So I didn't connect it. So people thought I was a fake account, I guess.
Yeah.
And I got multiple like people reporting me as a fake account.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like if I see a girl that I think she's too pretty to match with me, like I'm gonna report her account.
Yeah.
Like,
Even if
100%.
before you even swipe, you just
Before
report
you
it.
even swipe, just report, and then swipe right.
She shouldn't be that pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I actually emailed them to find out why. I was like, well, shit, what did I say to someone?
Right.
Like, and then I was also like, well, I joke about like expunging or whatever guys a lot, like taking their money for feet pics. I joke about it. I don't actually do it.
I mean, probably should.
But
Slowly reaches for wallet.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think they took it a little bit too literally.
I have
and
$3.
reported me.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So that's how you got banned from Tinder.
And I'm banned for life. Like,
Oh, no
my
shit.
Facebook is banned. My name, like my first and last name, if I connect it, it's done. I'm done.
So we need an alias.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Ladies and
Time to make
gentlemen,
a new one, yeah.
if you know an alias that Lindsay should be using, like I guess you could say like the porn star name.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is Dr. Delicious.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Savory.
Yeah, savory, yeah.
So if you have an alternative name that you think Lindsay should use, or if you'd be willing to let her use your cell phone number to log in,
Yeah.
you can just DM her the activation code that they text you. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I was thinking. My friend actually did offer to do that, and I was like, you know what, dude? I think it's a sign.
Right. Is it worth being on Tinder?
I have been single for 3 years with no end in sight. So
Yeah.
I guess it's like the universe telling me you're just going to be single forever, and your life sucks.
Yeah, and like the last, I think, 4 years, I've officially been in a relationship for like 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
and it did not go well.
Yeah.
So it did not go well. I am recovering.
That's fair.
You know,
You're doing well.
Like,
Baby
I
steps.
think I'm doing well.
One day at a time.
Yeah, because you know how you were talking earlier, like, you want to talk to the right people. Like, Mike is not sympathetic when I was going through my shit.
No,
not at all.
I don't have time for that.
Let's hear you stack of shit.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Like, oh, man, like, oh, I can't believe she did this, man. Like, you fucking sack of shit.
It wasn't quite that harsh, but I pulled no punches. I just,
No, you called me a double sack of shit.
Well, quit being a double sack of shit.
Quote of the day.
Yeah.
Quit being a double sack of shit.
Fair.
Okay. So, to round out this episode, do you have any 1 or 2 moments that you feel kind of like really stood out in your career as a master of arms or at arms?
Master of arms.
Master of arms.
Bang.
She's in the gym.
That's right.
Wow.
Mike's just gonna be at she's gonna be at the door just baton me.
Yeah, I know, 100%.
How do you fuck that up?
Yeah, exactly. You have one job.
I have one that I can still legally talk about.
Nice.
That I didn't. I hate this. I'm pretty sure they still tell the story at that command to this day.
Yeah.
But it was when I was a new patrol officer. I was a little MA3 Peebs or whatever, and that was my nickname. And
Wait,
Peebs.
Peebs.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it has something to do with my last name, but
That's
Yeah.
Because like the last podcast we were on, the host was like, yeah, like my ex used to get off when I'd like squat and pee in his mouth.
Yeah.
And so like that was just in my brain now. It was just like
That's permanently in my
she
brain.
peed on someone.
Yeah.
See, that was my story. And I was trying to cover that up, and now you just told the whole world. Fuck.
Worst host ever.
God. But basically, this girl was like committing some serious larceny. She was stealing gift cards from the necks on base and somehow activating them and then going back to the necks and using them. So, and she did this. She stole about $5,000, I'm pretty sure.
A whole star card.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is the biggest bullshit. If you're active duty, don't get a fucking star card.
I have a star card.
Oh my god.
She works for Star
the
Card,
executives from Star Card. Come on the show.
Yeah.
I
That'd
will
be
fight
that'd be
you.
an interesting
I like
interview.
my star card. But yeah. She got caught doing, they already had like her picture. They called us because, they needed to arrest her. And we show up and she's a female, obviously. So I'm a female. So I do the search on her. And I thought I searched her pretty well. I got all the nooks and the crannies.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, my brain immediately started doing, like, 70s porno music.
Yeah.
Well, she had a donk. She had a big old butt. And I got in there as much as I could without These
lights are really hot.
Yeah, I know.
without getting in trouble. And I did a pretty good job. Apparently not, because it turns out they went and looked back at the video, and this girl, as soon as I walked out of where I was inspecting her, like reaches deep into the crevices of her butt crack. And I don't know where she pulls them, but she pulls out some cards.
Wow.
Pretty sure she pulled them out of her asshole.
Cha-ching.
Wow.
I'm almost...
You working with some ass?
Yeah.
You
bad?
bad?
Yeah.
And I was like...
I love you so much, Mike.
And then I got in trouble because they're like, why didn't you look up there? And I'm like, what do you mean, why didn't I look up there? I wasn't trying to give her like a rusty trombone or whatever.
Ooh.
Like,
A rusty trombone is something
With
very
your mouth,
different. There needs to be a penis involved, all right? But offline.
She could have had a penis.
Yeah.
But because I didn't search her well enough to actually know.
It was in her ass.
Apparently, yeah. And they play the video to train the other MAs. Like, hey,
oh my god, that's
look what
hilarious.
MA3 did. Don't do this.
That's
like
funny.
that's not embarrassing at all. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, in your most honest opinion, what do you think about Marines?
Oh.
I have a no Marine dating policy.
Oh.
I've had some very bad experience with Marines. Personally,
Mm.
and it's probably not really fair to speak for every Marine and say that they're all the same because I'm sure they're not. It's
They
just
are.
the
100% of them are. I'm saying it on camera.
No, because I get that too. Because like I've been fucked over by a bunch of females in the military. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to date one just because of that. You know?
Yeah, that's true. But it's just, I don't know. It would take a really good Marine, I think.
Ooh.
And everyone glares at Dan.
Yeah, I looked over you, but
there's clearly not a Marine over there. It's just
I was looking at EP Mike. Yeah.
Furiously masturbating.
Fully erect, mind you.
Just massive dong. Like that's why so much audio gets deleted.
I know.
Because it flops it on the
flops on,
laptop.
yeah.
You working with some ass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to round out the episode, do you have to put your hair in a bun?
Yes.
You should use Combat Comb Over. You know, you said you would take the wink, but you haven't winked once in this episode, and you've done several finger guns.
Okay, because
See, exactly.
Okay, in my defense, it's because I'm wearing fake eyelashes, and I'm kind of scared one of them will fall off if I wink.
That would be really funny.
So,
that's just good content.
I'm just trying to be careful.
Yeah.
Just leave them on some man's nightstand next to your service weapon.
That's right.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure I have done that with a one night stand before. Just got into the moment, I was like, ripping those bad boys off. Like, let's do this. I'm ready for action now. And just left them there as like a momentum. Like, oh,
that's right. Yeah.
Lindsay was here.
Yeah.
Here lies her $30 Sephora eyelashes.
Yeah.
Yep, we were talking about how women leave stuff around
all the time.
Yeah. So to round out the episode, Combat Comb Over, and can you guess what our promo code is?
He's asking you. Yeah.
I have no clue.
What word has been said the most in reference to Mike?
Penis? Syphilis?
Keep going.
God, there's so many.
I feel like we're going the opposite direction here.
And hold on, I'm going to stop the timer because it's about to go off. We're having such a great time. There it is. And cream pie. Our promo code for
a real life cremo. I can't even talk.
Promo code to enter into a real life adult website.
Yeah.
To save you money.
Yeah, it's cream pie.
To spend on condoms.
Mm-hmm. Right. The money you save, you could spend on condoms.
Yeah, legitimately. Is cream pie.
Yeah.
And so it's not just for dudes who want luxurious hair, for women who also need to tame flyaways in their bun.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So speaking of Combat Comb Over, I know Dan, there's a lot of Dans, a lot of Mikes around here. He had
Very
the idea.
biblical names.
I know, yeah. We're all church going folk. He came up with the idea with EP Mike to do a blind date on our show, and I think we should do that.
Oh, yeah? What?
Yeah.
What?
It was in the group chat.
I don't read those things.
I don't either.
I get like 57
I get
fucking
a lot
DMs
too,
a minute. You know?
But he did have a good idea to have.
Especially when the group chats are mainly just EP Mike sending memes of mine that he recreated with his watermark over mine.
He watermarks his. I was just about to
like
say
one was literally a picture of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really, dude?
Yeah, not anymore. But yeah, no, he said he had a good idea in that we blindfold EP. We put him in here, then we parade in 3-4 girls, and he does blind dates on the show.
Kind of like
you'd listen to that, right?
I would. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Actually.
So he asks them questions and then chooses one to go out on a date with afterwards.
100%, yes.
Are they blindfolded as well?
They'd have to be, right? Mike, I'm kidding. It's a joke. But no,
I'm just thinking about all the trouble I would get in.
Yeah.
What
do you mean?
Because I'd have the rubber chicken like messing with them.
Oh,
you know?
check.
Like would you mind taking EP Mike's hand and I hand like a wet sponge?
Yeah.
Like his hands are very sweaty. He's very nervous.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I feel like the best Japanese game show ever.
So yeah, I think we should do that.
I think we should do it too.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it out there to everybody to know that's in the.
And ladies, if you would like to volunteer,
that's it. Yeah.
I will say this: if you're hot enough, I will pay for your airfare.
Oh, for sure. I would say not even. I mean, hot enough is always great, but if you're willing enough to come do and make some funny content, I'll pay for your airfare. If you're willing to do that. Within reason.
Yeah.
If you're on a different continent, get over it. But, yeah.
I mean, I think, like, as many layovers as you have,
right.
like, that constitutes the amount of cream pies that are going to happen.
Jesus Christ.
Like, if you're coming from Okinawa and I got to pay for 3 fucking layovers.
Right.
Because, you know, like, you have to fly from Okinawa to, like, Tokyo, to Hawaii, to San Francisco.
Right, yeah. Multiple cream pies.
To DC,
yeah.
to Norfolk.
Open up a bakery with all these cream pies.
It's going to be at least 5.
Yeah.
I mean, and we'll round up, too.
Yeah,
so we'll just say a hard 10.
Perverted baker's dozen.
Yes, a baker's dozen. And we'll just call it at that.
There you go.
Yeah, but no joke. If you are into World War II things, if you're one of those nerdy girls.
I mean, you don't have to have sex with them. You just go on a date with them. Go out to dinner.
I mean,
go
what's
to
the point of
Chick-fil-A
going
or
on a date
whatever.
if, like, you're not trying to have sex?
I mean, that's up to him and his date.
I mean, because realistically, you don't go out on a date with somebody that you don't at least possibly see potentially yourself having sex with, you know?
I've done that before. 100%.
What?
I know. You're just shocked, but
what?
I've gone out with people with zero intention or want to have sex with them.
That's not a date, though. That's just hanging out with a friend. Because I've gone out with girls, too, that I had zero interest of having sex with.
That's a date.
Either because, like I know somebody who dated them, they said they were fucking wackadoodle.
Sure.
Or just because who they were as a human being, like they were, like, conceited or stuck up or whatever. Like, I don't care how hot you are. If you're stuck up, like, you're not getting the thickness.
I say we let... They're not down with the thickness?
No, they're not getting it.
So I'd say we let our guests decide. Does that constitute a date?
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
Because it's either going out to dinner with a friend or a date.
Right. But
I think the hard line in the sand is, like, is somebody getting sticky?
I mean, you never know that answer anyway.
Exactly. That's why you go on the date, to figure it out. But if you already have in your mind... Because flat out, I've seen plenty of girls on Tinder that are straight up like, I'm only here for free food.
Right. Yeah.
I don't care how hot you are. I'm not going to swipe right on you.
Right.
Like, if you want free food, like, become my friend, you know? And then be like, hey, man, I'm a little short this week. Could you get me a burrito?
Right.
And I'm like, what kind?
Yeah, exactly.
Carne asada?
You start dancing.
Yeah, Mexican mariachi music is playing
That's
in my
right.
head.
Yeah.
It's very different than Peruvian, for all you racists.
All of our listeners are racist. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that if and I think that's where, you know, the unfulfilled expectations being the definition of anger is if, you know, we set somebody up, whether it's EP Mike, me, Lindsay, you, whoever, on a date, quote unquote, with somebody, and you had the expectation that, you know, maybe there might be some hand holding, you know, like maybe a little bit of cuddling, you know, and she just winced.
Don't touch me. I hate being touched by strangers.
Right. Well, I think
right
everybody
context.
does. Yeah.
Like when a guy, like you first meet a guy and they're like, hey, and like they take your hand and they hold it the whole time.
That's
it's like,
weird.
who the fuck are you?
I'm your escort for the evening, apparently. Yeah, wrist lock. Yeah.
She was one of those MA fucking wrist locks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but point being, though, is that, like, you know, you go out, you have some sort of expectation, whether it's, like, possibly a second date, eventually smashing, whatever the case may be. But the girl or the guy already has it up in his mind that no matter how the fucking date goes, they're not going to have any sort of physical interaction with that person. Like, I don't think that's a date.
I still think it's a date. Because
if that's the case, then the other person's a douchebag.
Well, no, how?
I went on a date with a douchebag because you led me on with the expectation that there might be something.
What if it was established beforehand? Like, I'm not looking to have sex with you or
then
whatever.
It's not a date. Then you're just hanging out.
No, but I say that to say this because I've gone out with girls before who I had zero interest in physically, but hanging out with them, I gained an interest through their personality and stuff. So you can go in there with zero expectations, but before you know it, it's Cream Pie City just because of a good personality. So.
Oh no, I completely agree with that because that's how I get the girls that are way out of my league.
Right.
Because I'm just like, hey, like personality.
That Chris Farley charm is just knocking stuff over.
Don't mind these love handles.
That's right. Yeah.
More me to love. No, so I totally agree with that.
Okay, well that's what I mean by that.
Yeah, because there's definitely been a few rocket ships that I've hitched my wagon to.
Right.
Just purely out of like, like when I first before I got popular on social media and dating became much easier, which I only say that in the reference that like, because guys inherently will just go after whatever they can. And, like, even if she's not the right fit for you, your buddy's like, yeah, you better not fuck that up. Like, you're not going to get a girl that hot. You better not let her go.
Sure.
Like, you better not fuck this up. But nobody says, like, hey, does she treat you well?
Right.
And so guys will encourage their friends to think that just because she's physically attractive, she's desirable. Some of the most beautiful women I've ever fucking met have the ugliest hearts.
Whew, that's deep.
And it is.
That's deep.
And so
They can't
all
fuck
social
either.
media, all social media has done is kind of show me more of what I deserve and how I deserve to be treated.
Sure.
And certain girls will play games and make you feel bad about yourself and make you chase them to kind of like earn them in a certain way. But if you want to earn somebody, it should be through proving your character, not through playing games to appease their ego, you know?
Right.
So, you know, that being said, like I completely agree with that. You should have a certain expectation for yourself. But before I picked up on social media, like there was like a good hot minute there where all the girls I got with for like an entire year were just ones I met at volunteer events.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pick up any girls from the bar. I was striking out. But I go to a volunteer event and some girl sees me holding a puppy or like playing with, you know, with a kid who has autism on a play set, you know, and then all of a sudden fucking panty drop city.
Exactly. You get soup kitchen, meet your wife. She's
No,
homeless. That's fine. I got it.
Legitimately. I started a soup kitchen up in Quantico when I was stationed there.
You told me that.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good for you.
And so, you know, doing Big Brother mentor programs, you know, I have like almost 300 hours logged at the local animal shelter.
Yeah.
And, you know, so, and then you have people that they think just because they work out, they're, you know, they're desirable or they're a good person, you know, that makes them better somehow.
It does.
Or, and so you think
I just want to knock you off your train right now. That's all I'm doing. That's how it feels when I try and tell a story. It sucks.
Oh, I'm secretly aroused right
Yeah,
now.
I know. And it's getting hot in here, so I'm getting aggressive. So.
Yeah, you're like you're turning a shade of purple.
I know. I'm dying.
We'll wrap it up here.
For health concerns more than anything, yeah.
Yes, Michael, you should wrap it up for health concerns.
Fuck that.
But the point being, though, is that like people think just because a lot of guys want to fuck me, that makes me desirable. Like, no, they just want to fuck you. Like that Victoria's Secret model said it like, yeah, it's nice that men desire me, but men would fuck a McChicken sandwich.
It's true.
And so like, don't let it go to your head.
It's cheap too. Yeah.
And then so in the same aspect though, like for like so like guys, you can't have this like mindset that like you should chase a girl just because she's physically attractive.
Right.
And you know, that's not the definition of what of like a good person is, because looks fade, you know.
Yeah.
And like the Bible literally says that a righteous woman is worth her weight in gold, because they're hard to find.
Wasn't that Game of Thrones?
So if you had to give any advice to guys in the military as far as like pursuing females in the military, now that I've had my
yeah, exactly, yeah, damn, man, yeah.
Counselor, the floor is yours.
Oh God, guys in the military, you fucking twats.
Damn.
Just be a good fucking person. Like, a lot of guys kind of show out around their friends, and that is like the number one turnoff for a woman. So if you're at like,
define showing out.
Oh, like they think it's cute to act like douchebags around their friends.
Acting like a douchebag. I want specifics.
Let me define acting like a douchebag in the military. I was in an instance where a guy, he did a keg stand and then started verbally abusing me. But before that, he was the kind of guy who would like text you in the morning and be like, "Good morning, beautiful," and like all that gay shit that girls love. And when he was around his friends, that's how he acted. He changed, and that's such a turnoff. Like, just be a good fucking person. Be who you are all the time. Because
no, that's who he is. Like, I think there was a very clear subject to this. Like, he gets off the keg stand, he's like, "You like that, you sack of shit?" And then he thought he was talking to you, but he was really talking to his boy behind you.
Right.
I genuinely believe he wasn't like that, like in an actual aspect. But just be who you are all the time. Don't be one person for me and then be another person to your friends. Because why would you want to be friends with someone who doesn't know who you really are anyway? Like, what's in your heart?
I get that to an extent, because like we were talking about earlier, the customer that I had, that her husband was a 4-star. I didn't say cream pie once around her.
I'm sure that was really difficult for you.
Putting on errands.
Yeah, so basically just changing who I was as a person to be tactful in a professional setting.
Sure.
Like, and I get that, because you may act differently in different situations, but because you're wearing tan camouflage in the desert and woodland camouflage in the woods, doesn't mean that who you are as a person or your core or your tactics that changes. But I do agree with the fact that if you are intentionally putting on a front to deceive someone, to make them think that you're differently, then that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Anything else before we get out of here?
I'm dying. I'm sweating to death.
It's hotter than a whore in church.
It really is.
Bye.
Oh God.